In a cozy little apartment with a view that swept across the whole city, lived a man named Thomas. Tucked away in a quiet corner of his closet was a simple wooden box tied shut with a faded red ribbon. This box was his most prized possession. It held the story of his life, a story written in ink and paper, a story named Lena. They were from her, every single letter. Lena, the absolute love of his life. Their story began like something out of a movie back in college. Two wide-eyed dreamers huddled together under a single, small umbrella during a sudden, dramatic thunderstorm. It was as if the universe itself had decided they were meant to meet. From that day on, they were inseparable. Life, as it always does, started moving at a dizzying speed. There was the joy and chaos of graduation, the stress of finding their first jobs, and then the inevitable challenge of distance. Life pulled them in different directions, placing miles and cities between them. But one thing remained constant, one ritual they never broke. They wrote letters, always letters. In an age of instant messages and quick phone calls, they chose the slow, deliberate magic of pen and paper. Their letters crossed the country, carrying jokes, dreams, fears, and confessions. Each envelope held a piece of their heart. Lena's handwriting was a beautiful, flowing script, and Thomas could almost hear her voice as he read her words. He'd write back, telling her about his day, his hopes, and how much he missed the color of her eyes. The postman became an unwitting Cupid in their long-distance romance. Their letters were a bridge, spanning the physical distance that separated them. They built a world together, a world made of shared stories and promises for the future. They planned their reunion, the home they would build, the life they would share. Each letter was a brick in the foundation of that dream. And for a while, it seemed like their dream was finally coming true. Thomas moved to Lena's city. The letters stopped, replaced by shared breakfasts, evening walks, and the simple joy of being in the same room. They filled their small apartment with laughter, books, and the scent of Lena's favorite flowers. It was everything they had written about, everything they had hoped for. It was perfect, but life has a way of writing its own unexpected chapters. Lena fell ill. It started slowly, almost unnoticeably, but it soon grew into a long, difficult battle. Thomas stood by her side through it all, his love a constant, unwavering anchor in the storm. He read to her, held her hand, and whispered stories of their future, even when that future began to feel uncertain. The day Lena passed away, it felt as if the sun had fallen from the sky. The world lost its color, its sound, its warmth. Thomas's heart shattered into a million pieces. The laughter in their apartment was replaced by a deafening silence. In his grief, the one thing that had always brought them together now caused him pain: the mailbox. He couldn't bear to open it, couldn't stand the thought of it being empty, a stark reminder of what he had lost. So he stopped checking the mail altogether. The world outside could wait. Weeks turned into months. Thomas existed in a haze of sorrow. The box of Lena's letters, his only companion. He'd untie the red ribbon, his hands trembling, and pull out a random envelope. He'd read her words, tracing the loops and curves of her handwriting, trying to bring her back just for a moment. Her letters were filled with so much life, so much hope. "Don't worry, Tom," one read. "Even when it rains, the sun is just waiting for its turn." Then one morning, something changed. As he walked past his front door, he noticed a single envelope lying on the mat. It must have been slipped under the door. It was different from the usual junk mail. It had no stamp, no return address. Just his name, Thomas, written in that familiar, beautiful, flowing script. Lena's handwriting, his heart hammered against his ribs. How was this possible? His hands shook so violently he could barely pick it up. He sank into his armchair, the one by the window where they used to sit together, and carefully, reverently, tore open the seal. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Tears welled in his eyes as he read her final words. "My dearest Tom," it began. "If you're reading this, it means I'm somewhere better now, probably redecorating the clouds. Don't cry for me, my love. Please, don't be sad for too long. Our story isn't over. Write to the world. Write to yourself. Share the love we had. Love doesn't end just because I'm gone. It just changes form. It becomes a memory, a story, a light for others. Find it, Tom, and know that I am with you, always." The tears he'd been holding back for so long finally fell, blurring her precious words. He clutched the letter to his chest, a wave of both profound sadness and incredible peace washing over him. She was gone, but she had left him a map, a new purpose. He spent the next few months sitting by that window, not just in sorrow, but in reflection. He read every single one of her letters, organizing them, reliving their entire love story from the first hello to the last goodbye. He realized that Lena was right. Love wasn't just about physical presence. It was about the mark someone leaves on your soul. It was about memory. Her love wasn't gone. It was right there, in that box, in his heart. An idea began to form, a way to honor her final wish. He started to write. He wove her letters together with his own memories, his own reflections on love, loss, and hope. He poured their entire world onto the page. He wrote about the thunderstorm, the long-distance promises, the shared laughter, and the quiet strength she showed until the very end. Years later, a book appeared in bookstores across the country. It was called Letters from Lena. It was their story. It became an unexpected bestseller, touching the hearts of countless readers who found comfort, hope, and inspiration in Lena's words and Thomas's devotion. People wrote to him, sharing their own stories of love and loss, telling him how the book had helped them heal. Lena's love, once shared only between the two of them, was now a beacon of light for the world. One clear night, Thomas stood on his balcony, looking up at the vast, star-dusted sky. He held a copy of their book in his hands. He smiled, a genuine, peaceful smile, and whispered into the night, "You're still here, Lena. You always were." And in the quiet, gentle hum of the city below, in the warmth of the breeze, and in the peace that finally filled his heart, he felt her answer, not as a sound, but as a feeling. A feeling of love, unchanging and eternal. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories like this. It means the world. Take care, and we'll see you next time.